Yeah, man. Yeah, man. What's going on? What the business is? What's goody? Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is always a pleasure to be up in here on YouTube. And y'all know how we do. Y'all know how I get down. Oh, let me do this the right way. It's the homie, main man, made man in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing. Rocket Strikes 89 in the building. What's up, fam? What's up with you? You know what I'm talking about? Man, happy Wednesday to everybody. Let me just make sure my audio crystal, man, and we can keep it going. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. We sounding really good, Joe. Alex Cartier, what's up with you, man? It's a pleasure. It's always, I got fam in the building all day. Y'all know how we do a Wednesday, man. Wednesday and Sunday, each and every Wednesday and Sunday, we do our live stream. It's our time now. We talking boxing. I got fam, brother reality in the building. And I got the homie LeBron James in the building. What's good? Audio is straight. Appreciate that, fam. Chin Smoke in the building. What's up with you, fam? What's up with you, man? You dig? It's always a pleasure, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. There's been a lot of goings on this particular weekend. I don't want to hold y'all too long. I know it's finals night. You dig? I want to see the game just like everybody else. Do me a favor as y'all slide on up in this joint. Hit the like button for me, whether you're fam or sliding through for the first time and you just seen me in your recommended section. Man, hit that like button, man, because I'm about to put in work. You know what I'm talking about? I'm about to put in work. So before we get to the meat and potatoes like we always do, fight fans, y'all know it. Joshua Ruiz too. We gonna get to that. We got a lot to talk about when it comes to that. But first and foremost, let's deal with a few undercard, a few underlings, if you will, issues that's been going on this week. You know, since this Joshua Ruiz stuff broke out, right? Like we ain't been talking about much of nothing. Like just this, you did just this. This news has blanketed everything related to boxing. You know what happened with Anthony Joshua, and I understand. I mean, this was historic right here. But I've seen this shit on CNN. I've seen this shit on Fox, on MSNBC, on Yahoo. I mean, I've seen it everywhere in places where they know nothing about boxing. They've never put a boxing glove on in their life. Places like The View. I mean, I've seen this everywhere. This fight has literally like, it's huge. Everybody talking about this. You can't talk about nothing. There are other things to talk about, but this is huge, bigger than I thought. Sheldon Holmes in the building. Media One Software. What's up with you? What's up with you? So let's get to it. And I know that's what y'all want to talk about, and we do got things to talk about when it comes to that. But let's deal with some underling things here first. First and foremost, Amir, the quitter, Khan has an upcoming fight. I'm sure y'all have heard the news. This is kind of sort of old news, but I haven't had a second to talk about this yet, man. Amir Khan, right? It's going to be fighting July 12th in Saudi Arabia, though. Saudi Arabia. And they say the reason that he's doing it is because he's trying to bring the two countries. The guy who he's fighting supposedly is India's like top boxer. He was a standout amateur, and this dude's supposed to be like India's top guy. They're saying they're putting at his feet that he is responsible for basically uplifting India's boxing culture and bringing it to the forefront. And he ain't that good as far as his record is concerned. And the guys he ain't fought nobody worth mentioning. You say what network? It doesn't tell us what network as of right now. I'm not sure which networks are going to be shown in Saudi Arabia. There's a good chance this may be on DAZN, but they haven't announced that yet. And the guy is he fighting though, like I said before, he's supposed to be a standout dude. His name is what's this guy's name, man? And I hope, truth be told, I hope I don't butcher it too much. Niraj Goyat. Yeah, man. So this is going down in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and what is it? King Abdullah's what's the name of the building? King Abdullah's like sporting complex or something like that. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, this is the same place that the fight between George Groves and Callum Smith went down. And it seems as if that Saudi Arabia is trying to come into the mainstream of things. They're trying to change the way their economy works. This is a project that's been under the way by the royal family of Saudi Arabia for a few years now. And that is the modernization of Saudi Arabia. See, their economy is basically reliant upon oil. They get basically most of the money and most of the dollars from the oil money, but they want to expand things to where they're getting streams of revenue from other places as well, not just oil. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to use boxing as one of those issues that brings them out into a modernization type thing. This is literally a project. You know what I'm saying? This was literally a project. We remember Amir Khan. This is not the first time that he wanted to fight in Saudi Arabia. The first time he wanted to fight in Saudi Arabia, he wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao, right? And it was criticized at the time that Bob Arum, who was running around, who at the time was still promoting Manny Pacquiao, he was just like, no, it ain't gonna happen. And instead, he chose to pull Manny Pacquiao out of it. I forgot who he wanted him to fight. I think it was Mike Alvarado. Remember, he wanted him to fight Mike Alvarado, and this sent Manny Pacquiao out the door, cutting ties with Top Rank. But the thing is, though, is that Amir Khan has been wanting to fight over here in Saudi Arabia for quite some time. There's something that Amir Khan knows about Saudi Arabia that no one else knows. You know what I'm saying? And the rumor mill also is spinning, and they're saying that Amir Khan may be paid $8 to $9 million for this particular fight. DJ Zion Love, salute to you too. They're saying that Amir Khan may be paid possibly $8 to $9 million for this fight. Now, this question was posed to Eddie Hearn. The video is actually on YouTube for anybody who ain't seen it. The question was posed to Eddie Hearn, like, yo, is it true? Is Amir Khan gonna get $8 to $9 million racks for this? I mean, is this true? And he was like, somewhere up in there. He didn't confirm and he didn't deny. Word of the day in the building. What's up with you? He didn't confirm and he didn't deny. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. If Amir Khan is getting $8 to $9 million for this fight in Saudi Arabia, man, hats off to him, man. And the cat who he's fighting, this Goyat cat, like I said before, he hasn't beaten anybody that's really we will probably even know. He ain't beat nobody in the top tier. And he was more of a standout amateur than as a professional, because as a professional, I think he already got like 3 losses. You know what I'm saying? So, but the thing is this, man, I actually like this situation, because if anybody know anything about Pakistan, which Amir Khan is from, he's a British Pakistani, right? So if anybody know anything about Pakistan and India, y'all know that they don't see eye to eye. And so Amir Khan is saying out that he hopes that an event like this will bring these two countries together in one way or another. Also, the WBC has sanctioned this fight, and they will be putting in, get this one, y'all, the WBC Pearl Belt. Now, what the hell is that? The WBC Pearl Belt. I guess they ran out of medals because they got a diamond, right? They got a gold. I guess they had to get the pearl now. They got a silver. You know what I mean? Where's the platinum joint? They got a pearl belt now. You know what I'm talking about? I got my man Lion Bar in the building. What's up, fam? What's up with you? But Amir Khan and this Goyat guy, they will be fighting for the WBC highly coveted pearl belt. All right, man. Whatever, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Whatever's clever, man. But at the end of the day, good for Amir Khan. This kind of sort of answers the question that I don't know if anybody's still checking, but clearly Amir Khan ain't fighting Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? For what it's worth. And I don't know what the hell is going on with Kell Brook. Last I heard from Kell Brook, he was supposed to be on the undercard of Joshua and Ruiz. He got pulled off that undercard. We heard possibly of a fight between him and Terrence Crawford. Since then, we ain't heard jack crap from Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we know Kell Brook ain't preparing for Amir Khan, because Khan ain't got really many choices left. We thought he was going to either be Kell Brook or out the door, but Khan then found him a bag of money in Saudi Arabia. He done found him a bag of money in Saudi Arabia. And in that part of the world, this fight is going to be huge, man. So shout out to Amir Khan for trying to bring two countries together and using boxing to do it. I got my clown moments on Khan's ass, but this particular issue, it's all love. You know what I'm talking about? It's all love. We moving right along. Next issue, undercard issue, before we get to the meat and potatoes. Word on the curb. Now, I didn't want to jump the gun with this particular subject, and I usually do subjects like this in vid form, but I see Kenny Porter. Kenny Porter is running around saying that, yo, we signed the contract and we are waiting on Earl Spence Jr. What's up, Earl? Where you at? He said we signed the contract a month ago. He said we done been in training camp at this point for about 5 weeks. 5 weeks of training camp, contract signed a month ago, and we heard nothing from Earl. The only thing that we've been hearing about the Earl side is, we seen Earl come out on social media and he was saying something to the effect of he ain't fighting in August. We don't know what that's about. There's a lot of speculation out there what it could or could not be about. The rumor mill is spinning. The rumor mill is spinning. Lord knows, full of sports in the building. The rumor mill is saying that, pretty much it's a pay-per-view thing. We know that, I believe it was Mike Coppinger a few weeks ago, came out and let this thing out the bag that, this fight was not going to be on pay-per-view. And word on the curb is that, fighters ain't happy about that. Sean Porter feels as though this fight should be on pay-per-view, and there's rumors saying that Earl Spence feels as though this fight should be on pay-per-view. Now Earl Spence is well on camera. There's videos on YouTube circulating around showing it where he clearly told the cameraman that, hey, I don't want the fight in Dallas. Because people was wondering, like, yo, Earl, if you this major star, right? Why ain't the fight going down in Dallas? Why you ain't got Jerry on board with this? Why this thing ain't on pay-per-view? You say you the star. People are crediting you with those pay-per-view numbers. But now you're telling us that you're fighting somewhere else, maybe on the East Coast, and it ain't going to be on pay-per-view. Now, if it's a pay-per-view thing, which I don't know, but if it's a pay-per-view thing, I mean, you got to look at it like you can't drain the consumer, son. You cannot drain the consumer. Jonathan Fox says, do you feel though the fight is pay-per-view worthy? Truth be told, Jonathan Fox, as far as the competitive level of the two fighters, I say, yeah, I think it is. I don't know if they have the fan bases to carry to a pay-per-view, but as far as the caliber of the two fighters, I mean, you're talking two world champions. You're talking one dude who has probably the best resume at welterweight in Sean Porter. And then, aside from Manny Pacquiao. And then on top of that, you're talking about the new blood, the kid with the win at his back, newly crowned champion who's trying to conquer all the belts. And I like the storyline. I like it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it is kind of a pay-per-view worthy fight. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they have the fan bases to hit the numbers that they want to hit. That I'm not too sure of. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, you cannot drain the consumer. You're talking about having Manny Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman in July. You're talking about putting on Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz, right? On pay-per-view as well. Those are two back-to-back pay-per-views that we're going to have to spring out of our pocket to pay for right there. And now you're saying, oh, let's give you one more, Earl Spence Jr. versus Sean Porter. I actually was cool with it being on free TV. I mean, more people would see the fight. Easy for us, easy for the boxing fan, you know what I mean? No harm, no foul. DJ Zion Love says NFL preseason starts in August, bro. Oh, so you saying he don't want to do this fight while preseason is underway? But, I mean, if they kick it even later, just like September, full season is underway, right? Okay. Brother Reality says, look at Black Fight Fans TV's post, man, all day. Will do. That's my man right there. All day. I caught the trill earlier, so if that's the one you're talking about, if you're talking about something else, then I'll check for it. But yeah, man, if they kick it further, they ain't gonna do nothing but they digging a hole deeper, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I think so because you got the full football season gonna be fully underway, and nobody don't like to do nothing when the football game's going down. You know what I'm talking about? Unless you can find a random Saturday that ain't no games on, ain't nothing going on, no NBA. Well, NBA's about to be over. No baseball, no big baseball game. I don't know, man. It's just stupid to me, dog. It just, people always give my main man Keith, the final level Thurman, all of this crap because he changed. He changed, man. He is no longer one time. He is no longer don't duck me, son. That ain't him no more, right? He changed. He became a champion, and he became this unknown dude that we don't recognize. I got last of a dying breed in the building. What's up, homie? He changed. Or you can look at it that way, or you can say, well, maybe he's at a level now where he got more control over his career. He tells them when he wants to fight. He is technically in control of his own career. We always say we want to see other fighters that's in control of their own career. Well, there you go. Keith tell you when he want to fight and when he don't want to fight. Now, Earl Spence is climbing the ladder in popularity, in notoriety, everything. He is climbing with a bullet. The question is he changing? And I'm keeping it 100. Is he changing? Is it still free smoke? I want all the belts. I want all the straps. Or is it, I'll fight you only under these circumstances right now? Because that's foreign to me when it comes to Earl. And I don't know if that's the case. This is the reason I really didn't want to touch this story right now. I don't know. But all I do know is Sean Porter and Kenny Porter is running around like, what's the deal? What's the deal? And maybe Earl is tying up some loose ends behind the scenes. I don't know. There's even some fight fans out there that believe that he's waiting on that Canelo bag. I don't think that's the case. I don't even think he's entertaining that right now. What I do believe is that there's something in the background that's tying this up. I don't know exactly what. I don't even know if it's Earl. But all I do know is something in the background is tying this up. And all I do know is Derrick James was on the Boxing Voice talking like a straight up accountant up in this joint. Like he wake up in the morning and read the Wall Street Journal. Businessman. So my thing to you fight fans is, if it's okay, because I already know how this is going to play out, but they all do this when they get to a certain level. They all went on the way up. Are starving. They are hungry. They want everything. They want everybody. But then when they get a belt, and then when their numbers start hitting right, we start seeing changes. We haven't met that one boxer yet, maybe Wilder, but we still haven't met that one boxer yet that when they get to this level, they the same person. Where's that fighter? Floyd, if you think about Floyd never ducked nothing as Pretty Boy, and I don't truly believe he ever ducked nothing as Money May. The only thing that he ducked as Money May, in my opinion, was probably Sergio Martinez. I would have loved to see Sergio Martinez versus Floyd. But that's the only thing. And in this case, it's like, yo, man, like, come on, man. Don't change up on us, man. Don't change up on us. Earl, you are rising with the bullet because the fans believe in you, cousin. They believe in you. They think you are the second coming of Marvin Hagler. They believe in the words that you speak when you say it's free smoke, it's strap season. I want all the belts. They believe in that. The second you start showing cracks in that, people going to start questioning. And I hope that's not the case here. And I'm going to leave it there. So we need to wait and see how this progresses. Hopefully, we get an answer on this very, very soon. I sure hope so. Let me see what y'all talking about before I move on. Sheldon Holmes says, Thurman said Earl is not popular enough. Yeah, I mean, that remains to be seen. I know Earl has a hardcore fan base where they love him no matter what. Shout out to my homie Monty Brown TV and shout out to the homie Black Fight Fan TV. That's they man. I know. You did. And he has a hardcore group of supporters that's going to support him no matter what. You know what I mean? So popular, I mean, truth be told, I'd say at least as of today, and I'm a Keith Thurman fan. Earl may just be a little bit more popular than Keith, and that's just keeping it a buck. Keith is trying to use Earl to go out and do everything that he's not doing. Collect the belts. You get popular. I don't have to get popular. You get popular. I don't have to go after all the belts. You go after all the belts. And then when you did all of that, you give me a call, and then we can do a fight. Keith know what the hell he doing, son. DJ Zion Love says, I believe Thurman's wife spiritually changed him. Yeah, man. And she taught him how to play a new flute. I don't know what happened to Keith, man. All I do know is what I truly believe that Keith is just looking. He has a blueprint of an exit plan. He has a blueprint. I don't think we'll see Keith at 154. I don't think he goes up in weight. I think it stops here at welterweight after his plan is complete. And I think it stops either with Earl Spence Jr. or Terrence Crawford. That's what I think. Brother Reality says Bud Crawford is in Dallas as we speak. He need to pull up. I mean, I guess at this point, what is pulling up going to do other than just get us chattering more than we already chattering? I mean, shit, man, the fight is baked. Let's cut it. The fight is baked. I mean, pulling up right now, it'll give us a whole week's worth of boxing talk to talk about. I ain't lying to you. I remember how that first one went. Man, that shit, man, that thing wouldn't go away. It's like this Joshua fight. It would never go away. I mean, at this moment, they not looking to fight each other. Earl's looking to fight Sean. Bud may be looking to fight Kell Brook, or whether it be him or Kalvalauskis or whoever. So I guess it ain't no fight, I guess it ain't no reason to pull up. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he did, though. Last of a Dime Breeze says Al and Bob made Wilder Fury 2. Maybe they gonna give us the Spence and Bud fight. People always talking about Al ain't doing this and Al ain't doing that. Seems to me Al working with everybody. You did. Everybody always kill me with this Al Heyman one that don't work. Andy Ruiz is an Al Heyman fighter. He worked with Eddie Hearn. You did. Even when the Luis Ortiz talks were going on, that's still an Al Heyman fighter. They'll work on them lower tier fights. You know what I'm saying? They won't. It's just those big ones that we got the problem when getting. But at the end of the day, man, Al, to me, if he's worked with Bob, he's worked with Eddie, he's worked with Frank Warren, he's worked with them all. He ain't even a promoter, but I'm just saying, but he's worked with them all. We all know that the buck stops with Al Heyman. He's worked with all of them. Check the track record. Rocket Strikes 89 says, Earl changed, Holmes. It ain't hard to tell. It's right in front of our face. Don't ignore it. Yeah, man. And this is what I'm saying. This is not the Earl Spence Jr. that came to prominence, cousin. This ain't him. This is some different dude. This is I'm realizing how important I am type cat and how important these belts are. And so I'm going to move accordingly, just like most other fighters do. Word of the day says De La Hoya wants Canelo versus Spence. Yeah, he does. Allegedly. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he just clout chasing. I don't know that. I don't trust De La Hoya. De La Hoya like to put small print in contracts where if you fight under Golden Boy, and if you win, you are a Golden Boy fighter. He graduated from the school of Bob Arum and learned that little trick. Jonathan Fox says Martinez was one of a kind. Man, I wanted to see that Martinez and Floyd fight, bro. I wanted to see that Sergio Martinez and Floyd Mayweather fight. Like, man, Floyd went to say he pulled Canelo from 54, but he wouldn't pull Sergio. Cadillac Red, Keith is definitely entering his retirement phase all day. I actually agree with that, Cadillac Red. This is why I call him the final level, because once he does his checklist of fights that he wants out the way, it's a wrap, Cat. It's just like Gary Russell Jr., my main man. Gary Russell Jr. told you his plan, what he wanted to do. He wanted Leo, he wanted Tank, and he wants Loma, and then he wants out. You dig? So, I mean, Keith is the same way. Keith said he wanted this legend. He got the legend. He told Earl to keep on doing what you're doing, and we'll meet at the top. I think Keith fights this legend. Then he comes back and fights, I don't know, Joe Smo, whoever the fuck. And then he turns around and he fights Earl sometime next fall. That's what I think. And then it's a wrap. Then Keith is gone. Keith is gone. Fool of Sports says Al sealed the Fury and Wilder rematch. Yeah, man, that's a good look. It's a good look, man. I ain't no fan of overlooking opponents, and Luis Ortiz ain't an opponent that you need to overlook. It's never really smart to do this. And trust me when I tell y'all, if Deontay Wilder, God forbid, loses to Luis Ortiz, the first thing that's going to come out of fans' mouths is, oh, he shouldn't have been overlooking Luis Ortiz. He should have took this fight more serious. He shouldn't have booked 2 fights at once. That's going to be the first thing that's going to come out. You hear me? But at the end of the day, hey, I mean, if you book 2 fights like that, especially with the Fury fight so being so big, you must know for sure you're going to beat Luis Ortiz. You must be 150%. Do I think Wilder beats Luis Ortiz all day? But at the end of the day, it ain't guaranteed, man. And Luis Ortiz is not no slouch. I don't know how much of a fan I am of this 2-fight announcement shit. I'm not a fan of that. I understand the original purpose of it. The original purpose of it was to sting Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua and to let them know I ain't fighting you no time soon. I'm going to hold out a little longer. That was the original purpose. Now that Anthony Joshua has lost, so the Wilder Joshua fight is way down the line now. Now that situation is ongoing, I look at this and I say, damn, man, I don't like the fact that he announcing 2 fights in 1 week. I mean, it's just, to me, it's a little bit disrespectful in a way, because if I'm Luis Ortiz, it's like, damn, you done already set up your next fight and you ain't even stepped in the ring with me yet. I feel him on that. And I know Luis Ortiz got to take that some sort of way. Like, you just got your next fight lined up and you don't even know if you going to beat me. That got to make you feel some kind of way as a fighter, man. You got to be sitting back like, no, the fuck he didn't, cousin. He got another fight. Like, it's just guaranteed that you beat me. Hey, Wilder the dude, shout. Wilder, wild dude, man. All day. John Dejan said, bro, did you see our live reaction video on TBV? We was going crazy. Did I? Man, dog, shout out to the Boxing Voice, man. Shout out to the mighty Boxing Voice, man. Them boys putting it down over there, man. Shout out to Nestor Gibbs. Shout out to Mike. One of my favorite shows, man. And man, they putting it down, man. They putting it down right now, man. All day. DJ Zion Love says, after the AJ upset, all divisions should be on notice of stopping the ducking moves. Yeah, man. You would think so. You would think so. Okay, so I see y'all trying to get into this AJ talk, and let's get into it. But before we do, one more last kind of like underling thing to mention, undercard mention, if you will. Shout out to Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins will be inducted into the Atlantic City Hall of Fame, and I think that is a beautiful thing. I was listening to the Bernard Hopkins talk, and he was saying that he lost. You know, Bernard Hopkins' very first professional fight, he lost, and it happened in Atlantic City. And he's had well over 19 fights now in Atlantic City. That's my home away from home. I'm always up in Atlantic City. Shout out to Harris in Atlantic City. Shout out to the pool after dock. Meet me up there next time I'm up in the area. Any of my fans from any of the subscribers from New Jersey, holler at me when I'm up there. You know what I'm talking about? But you know, he's put a lot of good fights up in Atlantic City, so they are inducting him into the Hall of Fame. And I think this is nothing but good, man. So shout out to Bernard Hopkins. He is more than deserving of it. One of the greatest, if not some say the greatest middleweight of all time. All right. Now, we can get to the meat and potatoes of this thing here. Joshua versus Ruiz 2. Jonathan Fox says, do you think that the Ortiz rematch will be like the Stavern rematch? You know, nah, not at all. Not at all. Luis Ortiz stays in shape. Luis Ortiz stays focused. We've never spoke about Luis Ortiz looking bad, looking flabby, or anything like that. Bermain Stavern was a different dude than the first time around. The first time around, that Bermain Stavern was actually a game fighter. I mean, prior to Wilder emerging and Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury really emerging on the scene, it was Bermain Stavern and Klitschko holding it down for a long time. Chris Bird, Chris Areola, dudes like that. So, no, when it comes to this dude, I don't think so. I think Luis Ortiz is going to come to fight. He ain't coming to lay down. And I really do think that by Deontay Wilder announcing this Tyson Fury deal, I'm telling you, man, that's going to do something to Luis Ortiz, Joe. He going to come in that thing really focused, man. Yeah, man. Sheldon Holmes, man. Do you know that Ramirez versus Hooker was announced today? I did not hear that, Sheldon Holmes. Shout out to you, homie. Thank you for breaking that here on Main Man, Made Man's Boxing. They saying that, yeah, man, Ramirez versus Hooker announced. That's a unification fight we talking about right there. WBO champion versus the WBC champion. All day. That's what it is, man. Oh, is Hooker the IBF? No, Hooker got the WBO, right? Was it the IBF? No, he has the WB. Man, it don't matter. It's a unification fight. That's what it is, man. They got it did. That's what's up. I ain't know if Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn was gonna make that happen, man. That's what's up. That's gonna be a good ass fight, bruh. That's gonna be a good ass fight. That's gonna be a good ass fight. Yes. Hopefully, maybe the winner of the World Boxing Super Series can mix it up with the winner of that fight. I don't know, but that's gonna be a good ass fight, man. I got nothing but love for Maurice Hooker and nothing but love for Ramirez, man. Both balls to the wall fighters, both getting it did all day. Hey, good looking out on that, Sheldon. Lewis Coleman in the building. What's up, fam? What's up with you, man? What's up with you? Hawk smash that like button for me all day. LeBron James says Ruiz will force AJ's corner to toss in the towel. So you basically think that the beatdown in the rematch is going to be worse than what Ruiz did to him in the initial fight, right? Look, I'm just going to say this, man. I'm just going to say this. This time you're going to be coming up against a more prepared Andy Ruiz. You know, he'll have probably a different, you know, I don't see him doing anything different because even what Andy Ruiz was doing against AJ in that fight, that's the same Andy Ruiz I've seen in several fights prior to that. He comes forward. He punches in combinations. He has very good head movement. Not so much good body movement or upper body movement, but good head movement, good blocking ability, and very fast hands. And he punches in combinations. And he loves to come forward unless he gets tired. I see that Andy Ruiz fight. It's just a good skill set that he got. He has a very, very good skill set. And I don't think he does anything different. The question is, does AJ do anything different? He better. I'm going to say that. First off, fighting off the back foot ain't AJ's strong point, man. It ain't. Him going backwards and trying to box going backwards, that ain't AJ's strong suit. AJ likes to work. I've said this before. He likes to work behind the jab while coming forward before he lowers the boom. He likes to come forward. You say in July, Sheldon Holmes? Okay, good. It's going down in July. Ramirez versus Maurice Hooker going down in July. Appreciate that info, fam. But he likes the box coming forward. The thing is, man, AJ needs to take his time. If he wants to have any success in this, he must take his time. I highly suggest he go back and watch Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz first fight. And you look how patient Wilder was before he jumped in there, because he knew that Luis Ortiz was waiting to counter with a fast counter. So he didn't overextend. He didn't jump on him immediately. He knew. And that's something that Joshua needs to take in mind. Take your time. Block out that big-ass audience. You know what I'm saying? Block them out. Get tunnel vision. Take your time. One jab here, one jab there. Step around them. Keep turning them. You got to use boxing ability. Stop going in there thinking you're going to get, jumping on guys and think you're going to get them out of there fast. Nah, first up, but I will say this. Prior to the third round, I thought Joshua was doing just fine. Until that third round temple shot, which changed the whole dynamic of the fight. People like to remember from the third round on down and say, oh, he fought bad and he got outboxed and he looked slow and he looked lethargic. That was after the third round on down. That temple shot took everything out of him. Everything out of him, cousin. Everything. He had nothing left. He couldn't think straight. He couldn't see straight properly. He was concerned, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Why can't I recover? I told you, I remember after that fight, I recall him saying in his corner, like, what's wrong with me? First, I took it as like maybe they did something bad in training camp or gave him a wrong supplement or something like that. But nah, man, I think he was saying that, why the fuck can't I recover? Why can't I see straight? Why am I seeing 3 Andy Ruizes? Here we are in round 5, and I still can't see straight. Here we are in round 6, and I still can't see straight. What the hell is going on? That was a beautiful shot, man. That was a beautiful shot. And so I'm telling y'all, man, how often does that punch land to change the dynamic of the fight? This is what I've been asking boxing fans since it happened. How often? That I told y'all in the previous video, that shot has never landed in AJ's whole career like that. Never. Andy Ruiz has never landed a shot like that on none of his opponents. He didn't land a shot like that on Joseph Parker, though I thought he beat Joseph Parker. So, I mean, AJ started out the fight pretty damn good, I thought. It's just that third round changed the whole dynamics of the fight. Now, but this time around, like I say, Andy Ruiz will have a full camp. He'll have full preparation, and he'll be ready to go. But what can he do different? What will he do different? Or does he have to do nothing different? Just be Andy Ruiz. Let me know. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me scroll up some. Let's see. DJ Zion Love says trap fight of the year. They will make a movie if Ruiz beat AJ again. All day. all day, and he deserves a movie. He deserves it. LeBron James says Andy will have a full camp and better training due to having more money to afford it. Yeah, man. Hey, Andy got a little change though, man. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all see him on the Kimmel show with his little chains blinging and shit. Got the A and the R for that thing looking jive. You know what I'm saying? Looking jive fresh. You hear me? Yeah, man. Word of the day. I think Joshua lost the desire. Let's stop right there. Word of the day. And we talked about this. The desire. It's not Andy Ruiz that made, if he lost any desire, it ain't Andy Ruiz that made him lose desire. You dig? It ain't that. It ain't Eddie Hearn that made him lose desire. It ain't Rob McCracken that made him lose desire. It's Deontay Wilder that made him lose desire. Because the press, because the fans, because Wilder is steadily winning. Every win that Wilder does, especially in devastating fashion, puts more pressure on him. He can't step out the house. He can't go to the 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee without somebody walking up to him saying, when you going to fight Wilder? When you going to fight Wilder, AJ? I don't have to fight. Well, I mean, I don't. Why are you asking me this? I'm getting a Slurpee, kid. Why are you asking me a question like this while I'm getting a Slurpee? You know what I mean? It's like one of them things. And that's what made him lose his desire. Half of the world calling him a coward. Wilder fronting him up every chance he get. That's what made him lose his desire. Being put in a position that we don't know he truly wanted. Or maybe he did want it when he thought it was going to be easy. Maybe he did want it when it was Charles Martin. Maybe he did want it when it was Takam and Joseph Parker and 40-year-old Klitschko. Maybe he wanted it then, but when those names were done, and now here we are at the point where we're talking about the creme de la creme now. That now all of a sudden his desire changed. You dig? So it clearly it wasn't. If he lost his desire, he lost his desire because of Deontay Wilder. And that's real shit. That's real shit. That's real shit. Joe 56984 says, I heard AJ trash the dressing room after the fight. Yeah, he did. I told you before, man, when you said that, man. Hey, I would have did the same damn thing. He probably did, man. I mean, how he lost 3 belts? Fuck out of here. He should have, and they should have charged him for it. You know what I'm saying? And put him on the first thing smoking and got him up out of this country. Showed at home says, main man, made man. AJ gotta and bring someone in to teach him how to feint with his jab. McCracken don't teach that. McCrackhead don't teach that. Yeah, you're right about that, Mo. I agree with that 100%. AJ don't do enough body work for me, period, though. I mean, he don't know how to move the jab upstairs and downstairs, and it's so robotic. I'm scared if he jabs downstairs, it's going to take that arm so long to get back to his body. Slim, he going to be getting cracked with so many counter punches. He is robotic. He better make sure he got some WD-40 in the corner because he going to have to oil them joints up to get that arm back in there in time. Sorry, man. Man, I'm going to tell you, man, AJ need to go in there and take his time. Time and beat speed. Take it one shot at a time until you wear Andy Ruiz down. First off, Andy Ruiz, when he goes into the deep waters, he's shown signs of stamina issues as well in the past. This is what allegedly lost the fight of Joseph Parker, because after about the 5th, 6th round, Andy took his foot off the gas and he allowed Joseph to get back into that fight. But at the end of the day, AJ just need to take his time, man. Take his time, take Andy into the deep waters, hit the body a little bit. One shot here, one shot there. Keep Andy honest. Couple hard shots when he gets too close, keep him honest. Andy know how strong you are. You put him down for the first time in his career. So he knows. Now, as for Andy Ruiz, I got my homie Smitty Smith in the building. Where you been, homie? Where you been, man? What's up with you? You know what I mean? But as for Andy Ruiz, man, you know, Andy ain't got to do nothing. I don't think Andy can do more than what he was already done. You know, if y'all think Andy gets better, you got to tell me how. You got to tell me how. I think that's just who Andy Ruiz is. That's just who he is, homie. He's a fast puncher. He's always been big like that. There ain't nothing he can do about that. That ain't going nowhere. He can't move but so much. As far as on the upper body movement, nothing he can do about that. The only thing different that maybe Andy can do more, maybe hit AJ to the body more. Y'all remember when Andy stopped throwing that jab to AJ's stomach? That's the thing that got him to lower his hands before he lowered one of the booms on one of them knockdowns. It was a beautiful jab he hit AJ with to the stomach. Beautiful jab. Keep him dropping them hands. Keep him dropping them hands. Force AJ to drop them hands. Jabbing him to the stomach. Lower them hands. And bring another one of those big left hooks over the top. That's all Andy got to do. See, it's AJ that has to make the adjustment. Stay the fuck off the back foot. Stay off the back foot. Stay long. And pace yourself. Be patient. Those are some of the changes that AJ has to make. As for Ruiz, he is going to be the same Andy Ruiz you get every fighter. Yeah, he's a great counterpuncher. Great counterpuncher, Smitty Smith. Great counterpuncher. Great counterpuncher. And he counterpunches in combinations. Beautiful counterpuncher. But that's the advantage you have when you have hands like Andy Ruiz had. Man, I bet you Andy Ruiz can work this shit out some mitts. I bet you that dude can work them mitts like nobody business. Nobody business, man. See what y'all talking about. Lewis Coleman says, let a 265-pound man hit you in the temple and see what happens all day. All day. I agree 100. Dog, in the temple, man, it's only like two or three punches in boxing that makes you react that way. That's so hard to recover from. And that's one of them. Of course, the body shot that you ain't seen, that usually put you down and you ain't getting back up. A la Oscar De La Hoya smacking on the canvas when Bernard Hopkins hit him with one. Frustrated all the hell because he wants to get up, but he can't get up. It's certain punches in boxing that have an effect on you like that. And that temple shot, the shot that's known to knock off your whole equilibrium. The shot that's known to make people forget their names. The shot that's known to make people end up on the canvas and can't remember how the fuck they got there. It's that temple shot, cousin. And a 260-pound plus man hitting you with everything he got to the temple. Good luck recovering from that. And this is why I'm telling everybody when people was like, yo, AJ shouldn't accept the rematch right away. And why not? How often does Andy Ruiz land that shot? We don't know. I've never seen Andy land that shot like that. Never. Now, AJ did quit because that shot came early before AJ quit. AJ did quit. Don't get me wrong. And we could talk about that. But in Andy's case, why not rematch him if you know I have never seen you land that shot? Man, the moon lined up just right with the stars and the fucking solar system lined up just right with the ocean. And that punch came perfectly. Perfectly. Fool of Sports says, if I was AJ, I would take a tune-up. You can't do that, man, because if AJ, let's just say if AJ took a tune-up, those belts are gone, homie. Those belts are gone. Ain't no telling he'll ever have a chance at those belts again. Them shits is gone. Andy gonna take a tune-up. Here comes Wilder. Here comes somebody in PBC. Now the rematch clause is probably null and void. I don't have to fight you. What do I have to fight you for? Okay, well, I mean, why do I have to fight you now? My manager / advisor is advising me to fight somebody else. Why do I have to fight you again? I mean, and on top of that, what the IBF situation? Let's not forget, if Andy Ruiz don't fight AJ, more than likely he's going to have to defend the IBF mandatory, which will be against Kubrat Pulev. And ain't nobody asking for that fight. Them shit is going to be gone. AJ, if AJ wants it, as we all saying, he didn't want it. If he wants it as bad as his supporters say he does, as bad as his supporters want it, he got to get back in there and pick up where he left off. Trust me when I tell you, if he wins, this can just be a battle in a long war. He may have lost the battle, but he can win the war. You don't give up. You don't get. I would lose respect for the man if he went in there in a tune-up. Your big American debut that everybody and their mamas was telling you, you this boxing god or something, like you this boxing guru, and you come over here and you get stopped by someone who is the opposite of you. You are tall, black, and muscular. You lost to a short, fat Mexican. And you want to, no, it don't look right. Your image will be nothing. I'm telling you some real talk, man. You must redeem yourself while the opportunity still exists. Him taking a tune-up hits the reset button. And you didn't come this far to just hit the reset button that damn easy. Nah, ain't no tune-ups, man. Not no tune-ups, bro. He need to get right back in it. They're giving him 6 months. 6 months, and he's fighting in his backyard, which I think is wrong. I think Andy should have to say so in that. But he's fighting in his backyard in front of his people to get their energy from his 80,000. He's fighting in front of his people. AJ ain't AJ without the belts. He's just Joshua. Let me say that again. AJ ain't AJ without the belts. He's just Joshua. Maybe he's happy being just Joshua. I don't know. But he ain't AJ no more. He's Joshua. Joshua versus Smith. Not AJ versus Smith. It's Joshua. Though I got my differences, major differences. We're not talking Deontay Wilder here. We're talking AJ and Ruiz. Since I do have certain differences. But at the end of the day, AJ is good for the sport in one way or another. It helps keep the sport alive. What they created him to be. This hype, this known boxer that the world's supposed to know. Though Wilder should have been that, my deal is it still is good for boxing, you know, because it keeps boxing on the forefront. So it is what it is. I don't think he should take the tune up. Let's see. Let's see what y'all talking about. Last of a Dime Breeze says Ortiz is not bum-maned. I hear that. UK FBA student. I'm disappointed to hear AJ is not changing trainers. Rob McCracken is having AJ spar with amateurs. He needs a trainer who will work on his defense. Let me ask you this, UK FBA student. Have you ever questioned AJ's defense prior to Andy Ruiz's fight? Have you ever questioned? Did you question it in the Takum fight, the Parker fight, the Klitschko fight, the Martin fight? Have you questioned it in any of those fights? We wait till you get to Andy Ruiz and you question his defense. My thing is, I can't say it enough. I can't say this enough. The man got hit with a temple shot, man. God damn. Look, man, I'm not even the biggest AJ fan, and I can see this shit. He got hit with a temple shot, and he wasn't the same. That's all I'm saying. It happens, man. It happens. All right? People don't. It happens, man. You get back in there, you get your belts back, and show everybody that it was just a fluke. Now, if you lose again, well, you're done, cuz. You're done. But what's the purpose? This is what I don't be understanding with people. What's the purpose of sitting around not fighting the top? Oh, I'm going to avoid the top and come back and fight the top dogs in a year or two. What is your purpose in boxing? If you're not trying to be a champion, if you're not trying to be the number one fighter in your division, what is the purpose? He has the opportunity to get back in there and rematch someone he knocked down that took all of his belts. Man, there's no way. That couldn't be me. That couldn't be me. Couldn't be. No fucking way. After somebody I didn't knock down? Nah, man. No way. No way. LeBron James says Ruiz will force AJ's corner to toss in the towel. No, that's right. Dr. Zion Love says trap fighter. Oh, I already read that one. LeBron already read that one. LeBron James says, I agree. Andy will be a movie star if he beats AJ again. All day. All day. All day. And see, AJ's image as of right now is already cracked. Nothing that you can do about that at this point. All right. You lost to what casuals, I repeat, casuals will refer to as some fat dude. You lost to a fat dude. So your image is now cracked. Winning over the American audience has become much more harder. Much more harder at this point. But in order for that recovery to start, you got to beat Andy Ruiz. Beating up on Joe Blow ain't going to do shit. Beating up on some guy who was a champion 10 years ago ain't going to do shit. If you want to be who you want to be, you got to beat Andy Ruiz. You got to beat him. Not saying you're going to beat him, but you got to beat him. That's all I know. That's all I know. Let's see here. Scroll down. Let me scroll down some. Nelson Santos. What's up, family? What's up with you? Nelson Santos says, Joshua said that Andy is strong at holding his ground. Speaking of holding, that's another thing that AJ need to learn to do. If he cannot come back the speed of Andy Ruiz, especially when he's getting counted, he needs to learn to hold. That's another thing he need to do. But it says Joshua said that Andy is strong at holding his ground all day. Well, I mean, look, you need to figure that out, bro. That's boxing. Boxing is more than just based on brute strength. You got to use that other muscle called your mind. Okay, how can I break this dude down? How can I make him start backing up? Huh? What do I have to do? What is his Achilles heel? Let me study this dude. That's what AJ got to do. AJ can't laugh and joke and giggle his way through this fight. You can't be this super nice dude through this fight. You need to sit your ass down and study this man. What is his strengths? What is his weaknesses? What does he don't like? What does he do like? What makes him comfortable? What makes him uncomfortable? You may didn't have the opportunity to do this leading up into the fight because it was short notice. But you got the chance now. And you need to be studying, cuz. You need to be having every fight of Andy Ruiz put on some sort of disc and put that shit into something and watch it. That's what you need to be doing, man. For real. Smitty Smith says Ruiz is a great counter and fight tall. Smitty Smith says, and fight tall, AJ. Yeah, he definitely got to fight tall. But Andy Ruiz is so good on getting on the inside, man. And when he get there, shit, 3, 4, 5 combinations. I mean, he's so good at just moving that head movement, getting around the jab and countering around that jab. That's his strength. That's what he is good at. That's what kept him backing up Joseph Parker. Because Andy Ruiz's counterpunching ability is so good. It's so good and so fast. Man, you better fight tall. Better fight tall. Brother Reality says can't fix a quitter, man, all day. Now, that's the one thing right there, Brother Reality. You hit it perfectly on the head, man. That is the one thing that only AJ can fix. I don't know what advice to give him based on that because I don't know nothing about quitting. I don't know nothing about quitting. You can't fix a quitter. You can't. And usually what people tell you, once you quit that first time, it becomes easier and easier and easier to quit. Some say that Kell Brook, my main man, Kell Brook, Cyclops is what they call him. They say, man, the reason that he was so easy to quit on Earl Spence fight, because he quit in the Triple G fight. I don't think he quit his corner through the towel in, but you know what I'm saying. They saying it becomes easier. And in AJ's case, he better hope that doesn't grow. Because it's easy to sit in that ring when you're getting pounded on and you're dead tired. You can barely swing and you can barely see. And you start thinking about them silk sheets. You start thinking about that new car you brought. You start thinking about that big, pretty house you got. And you start saying, you know what? I'd rather be there than be here. Fuck this. It becomes easy. And that's something that the only person that can get through that is AJ. He's got to wrestle with whatever demons that made him just say, I'm done with this. He's got to wrestle with them demons and conquer them demons, man. That is the worst thing you can have in your head as a boxer. 2 things. The mindset of a quitter and to already talk about losing prior to a fight. Those are two of the worst things you can do as a fighter. Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, that's some of the worst things you can do as a fighter. DJ Zion Love, Andy got AJ's number. That's it, period. All day. All right. Hey, look, man, we're gonna see, man. All I know is we gotta see. We gotta see. And if I don't want to call no prediction right now, as we way too early. I gotta see how the mental of AJ develops through these next few months. I mean, of course, it's hard. He'll put the act on. I looked at that little video he put out with him sitting in an attic somewhere. I don't know where he was at. And he was talking about how he's going to keep Rob McCracken and how he's going to stay faithful to the people that's with him. Yeah, y'all seen that video that's going around, right? It's on his YouTube channel. And I just was like, man, bruh, just go home. Just go home. And because it looks fake. The smile to me looks fake now. All the fidgeting around and moving constantly. It's like it looks fake. Go home, cuz. Just go home. Go home and study. We don't need to see you right now. We don't need to hear from you. Go home. Go the fuck home. Sit down. Bring some tape into a basement and study Andy Ruiz. But get the hell out of here, man. We don't want you right now. You got work to do. All that time I'm still in New York and man, get the hell out, man. Roll out, cuz. Go home. DJ Zion Love says, in boxing, that is called the baptism punch, bro. AJ got baptized. Damn. I guess we're going to call Andy Ruiz the preacher man. Hey, I'm telling you, man, it was a beautiful punch, man. It was a beautiful punch. But it's just like, and I know people don't, I'm not likening Lennox Lewis to AJ, but it's just like Lennox Lewis and Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman threw the most perfect punch that you can ever throw on Lennox Lewis, but could not muster that punch in a rematch. Couldn't find that punch nowhere in the rematch. But that was the most beautiful punch that ever landed on the chin of Lennox Lewis, but couldn't produce it again. Couldn't do it. You did. I'm sure if Mike Tyson would have rematched James Buster Douglas, that shot that James Buster Douglas hit Mike with, it wouldn't have came back again, I don't believe. If Mike was in his right mind, Mike wasn't up all night doing coke and so on and so forth. But I'm just saying, the point I'm making is, can he do it again? And if Andy can do it again, man, it's legendary. Legendary. And let's see if you can do that to Wilder. Doubt it. Let's see. Lewis Coleman says, you don't want that work word of the day. Uh-oh. Hold up. Lewis Coleman, I'm 6'1" and wide as a Mexican. Don't underestimate me. Oh, we got some sparring up going over in the chat. Hey, man, I'll promote the hell out of that fight, man. Let me know. Nelson Santos in the super chat. Much love to your homie. Much love to your family. AJ has to look out for the overhand right. Yes. Yeah, well, it was the left hook that did him in last time, Nelson. The left hook to that temple did him in. I thought that was the best shot of the fight. But yeah, that overhand right from Andy ain't nothing to be played with. And Andy can counter that jab with that overhand right just as well as he did with that left hook. But in all honesty, though, AJ walked into that left hook. But that overhand right from Andy will come right up over the jab and come fast. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Smitty Smith says, in the beginning of the fight, it seemed like Joshua was confused and didn't know how to fight a shorter opponent. That's been one of the criticisms that's been lobbied on Joshua. They're saying that he's struggling with the shorter opponents. I mean, look, man, you can't be 6'6" and don't know how to jab. Period. You can't be that tall and don't know how to jab. You can't. It looks so awkward to see AJ fighting off the back foot the way he was running and retreating. It looked so awkward. Take it from a cat who watches a lot of boxing. I ain't never seen a dude like his size and stature backpedal the way he was doing. Not so much as never even seen him do it. It looked bad. It didn't look like AJ. He was nervous, cousin. He was nervous. I don't deny that. Why he was nervous? There's many reasons why he could have. I don't know the exact reason, but he clearly was nervous, man. You seen the nerves rattle. It wasn't the American audience, but they say it was mostly Brits up in the building. Was it the American debut, knowing that all eyes were on AJ and this was your moment and he didn't live up to the moment? What made him so nervous? What made him so nervous? Look like I'm having some technical issues. Are we all good on the sound? Let me know. Yeah, sound still sounds pretty well, so I don't know. Lion Bar says AJ struggles against shorter opponents, Takam, Povetkin, and Ruiz. But you know, Lion Bar, that's something he got to overcome, man. As a 6'6", what is he? 6'6", 6 foot plus big boy. He needs to learn to use a jab on a shorter opponent. If people find out that is the blueprint, if that is the case, then what the hell is Eddie Hearn matching him up with shorter fighters for? Why is Eddie Hearn not doing a better job at matchmaking? See, when they chose Andy Ruiz, they didn't think about whether he was tall or short. All they thought about was that he was Mexican. And they knew what their numbers were doing for him amongst the Mexican fan base. So they figured, well, if we can't get, Jarrell, the walking promotion machine Miller in the ring, somebody who's going to promote it and blow it all up, well, guess what? We can get the next best thing, and that's a Mexican fighter. And that's something that Eddie said while they were in the boardrooms. That's how Andy Ruiz became the guy, because they were already highly invested into the Mexican fan base with Canelo Alvarez, and they just wanted to capitalize off that. They figured, hey, well, I guess we'll just use it for that. But he needs to adjust to them smaller fighters, though, man. I'm with you. UK FBA student says, so I'm sensing a part of you is thinking that Ruiz got lucky then, since it was a simple shot. Bro, I'll keep it a buck with you. I don't know if it was luck or not, and I need to see it again. But I'm telling people, you got to get past that moment, and everybody is judging this fight. And every time I hear people talk about this fight and break it down and they doing their thing or whatever, it's always they going from round 3 on down. They always talking about how this fight went once AJ was buzzed. You know what I'm saying? And not talk about, we can't leave out the fact that those first 2 rounds existed. That first knockdown existed. AJ made a premature mistake and walked into a shot. And I don't know if the fight would have went that way if he wouldn't have been so stupid and walked into a shot like that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm saying. I try my best to keep focusing on that and bringing that to people's minds, because people are saying that he shouldn't have took the rematch right away. You've seen some folks here say he needs a tune-up. And I'm like, I don't get that part. Why does he need a tune-up? Why should he not get in there immediately if it was one shot that changed the whole trajectory of the fight? Do you know the what-if questions that would be in his head? He'll be sitting in his house like, what if I would have rematched him? I mean, now that I'm looking at this fight, I was okay up until the 3rd round till I got hit with that punch. Now, AJ got recovery problems too. That's well noted. But not no damn 4 or 5 rounds. Maybe 2, 3 rounds where he's buzzed and he got to get his shit back together. But 4 or 5 rounds? Nah, man. Nah, Joe. I don't know, man. So we got to see it again, man. We got to see it again. Jameson Mars says, respect to Ruiz. I'm a Wilder Fury fan. I honestly think AJ's Miami training has something to do with his loss. Could have been. What they say, he was here for about 2 months or something. So he was already used to the time zone change. Maybe. I don't know. Word on the curb, real cats will tell you, man, he broke the oldest rule in boxing. And he got some pussy the night before he went and fought. Took his legs away. Word of the day says troll fights. Hey, man, that'll be all. Hey, I'll promote it. You know what I mean? Do it, man. Do it. DJ Zion Love says Andy soft mannerisms caught AJ off guard. That's all. Andy soft mannerisms caught AJ off guard. That's all. So you saying by him talking it soft, you ain't think he punched that hard? Is that what you telling me? AJ didn't do no homework then. AJ didn't look into Andy Ruiz. He judged the book by its cover. That's his mistake. That's McCracken's mistake. They technically had about 5-6 weeks to train once Andy Ruiz was announced. What was it, 5 weeks? They had a 5.5 week training camp to get ready for him. They should have studied. That's all I'm saying. Line bar, AJ struggles against shorter opponents. Takum, Povetkin, and Ruiz. Yeah, we read that already, but you got to work on that, man. You can't call yourself the best in the world if you can't beat a shorter fighter. Nelson Santos, at main man, made man. It takes a lot of stamina to fight off the back foot. Maybe that's part of why he tied out so quickly. You know, he's already had well-documented stamina issues. Well-documented. Too much muscle sucks up too much oxygen, so on and so forth. It's well-documented, you know, and fighting off the back foot ain't going to help. You right, Nelson. It ain't going to help. You ain't doing nothing but draining more energy. You know, I played a video game. One of the only games I play is Fight Night Champion. Come holler at me, Made Man 511. 511. Come see me on the Xbox. Anybody who wants smoke, I want all the smoke. But at the end of the day, you know, one of the ways you drain your stamina on that fighting game, right, is if you move around the ring too much. Your fighter will automatically get tired. I've beaten hundreds, maybe thousands of people, maybe even millions. I'm just that damn good. But I've beaten so many people because they think that by moving around on that game that they can just outbox you. When I'm just going to slow you down, cut the ring off, crush your body, and in 4 or 5 rounds, you're done. Everyone knows when you move around that ring that much and you already have well-documented stamina issues, that ain't smart. You got to stand your ground. You got to work your timing. You got to work your angles. That's something that AJ has always done, though. It's just this fight, you know? Line bar, Eddie Hearn was thinking business, Mexican audience, and forgot about boxing style matchups all day. I couldn't agree more, line bar. I couldn't agree more. They thought dollar signs. They didn't think strategy. See, Eddie needs to take a little bit of responsibility for that. The matchmaking was, if it's like y'all telling me, if you're telling me that AJ struggles with shorter opponents, then why is Matchroom matching him with shorter opponents? Dollar signs, man. Dollar signs. All the Mexican fans are going to line up behind Ruiz and forgot that stylistically, this is terrible for AJ. Also, Ruiz, Joe 56984. Also, Ruiz had never been knocked down before. Never. And this is what I'm saying, Joe. So if he accomplished that feat, knock down someone who's never been knocked down before, and then he walks into a shot that, pow, whole trajectory of the fight changes. We expect him not to go in there for a rematch after losing 3 belts? Come on, you know. UK FBA student says, I'm not interested in the tune-up also all day. My deal is, look, go for the gusto, man. Go for it while it's there, man. This is which is your purpose. If your purpose is to be the baddest man on the planet, well, there's 3 belts, and you telling me you turning down that opportunity because something wrong with your head? Nah, If you can't beat this man for the second time, then you can go and do whatever you want to do. But if you pass up this opportunity at 29 years old, when you are 59 years old, you're going to be smacking yourself over the head like my main man, Riddick Bowe, is doing today because he never fought Lennox Lewis. Do you know what probably goes through his head? Like, damn. Riddick said it himself. Man, that was one of the worst decisions I've ever made. That was a terrible decision. Terrible. When I threw that title in the trash, that was the wrong move. He could say that now in his old age. I'm just keeping it a buck. You're 29 years old. All right. You were in a position, though I didn't see you as the number 1 dude. You know what I'm saying? I seen Wilder as the number 1 dude, but you were in a great position where you've been built. You've been handed a lot of things. They built and hyped you up so much. You had more given to you than damn near any boxer in boxing today. And you're just going to walk away from all that? Just going to walk away to start from scratch, to start all over again and go and fight, you know, I don't know, Joe Blow. It don't make sense, man. Lewis Coleman says, at word of the day, you take 6. You 60. Take a nap or get this work. Otherwise, I'm going to eat my steak and garlic bread. Damn, hey, and Lewis Coleman never misses his dinner. So if he hitting me up, man, I'm about to go eat, man. I'm out, man. Much love to you. I'll be like, yeah, it's all love. Hey, word of the day. You fucking with Lewis Coleman's dinner, man. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's a problem. He ready to put the things on you, bro. Smitty Smith says, yo, fam. Thinking Anthony Joshua is done, ran his course with his trainers. Get a new American team. It will do wonders. I'd say more so of an addition. Like, I'm Smitty Smith, and this will, like, I'm gonna be 100 with you, man. Like, I've went down this road on this channel before. I'm not the guy that tells a fighter to leave their trainer. Especially if it's somebody that raised you as a pup. The same way I'm never a fan of telling sons to leave their fathers in their corner. I'm not a fan of that because that trainer knows you. He raised you. Now, he may have taken you as far as you can go. That's why I believe that you should add on, maybe bring someone else on your team. But to abandon the special relationship between you and your trainer, that's important to a fighter. That's very important to a fighter. This is the reason I think Jermell Charlo is not the same fighter no more, because he left Ronnie Shields, the guy who raised him, the guy who brought him up and knows his limitations and knows what he put in him as a child. You know what I'm saying? And in McCracken's case, who's been rolling with AJ since what, like the amateurs? I mean, I don't think he should kick him to the curb, but it may not hurt to add somebody else to the corner, an advisor, someone to teach him something else, to add on to what McCracken has taught him. I would prefer that approach because clearly AJ feels comfortable. It reminds me of when they were trying to kick Angel Garcia. What fight was that? I think it was the Thurman fight. I don't know what fight. I think it was either the Thurman or the Porter fight. It was one of them fights. And they was thinking about banning Angel Garcia's ass because of the shit that come out of his mouth. And Danny came out flat out ASAP. Like, if Angel ain't there, I ain't there. If Angel ain't there, I ain't there. Period. That's my dad. That dude know everything about me. I can't kick it to the next gear. I won't be inspired or want to kick it to the next gear without having to look in my corner and see him there. And I think it's something like that with AJ. Clearly, AJ got love from McCracken, man. So I think leaving and starting trying to develop chemistry with a whole new trainer with a fight with this much importance. Nah, I think addition, not subtraction, would help AJ more than anything. You know what I mean? Add someone, add an advisor, call up somebody. Can you give me some pointers? Can I come past the gym? Look at Chris Eubank Jr. Chris Eubank Jr. popping up in everybody's gym. He was over there with Virgil Hunter. Now he's over there with Mayweather. He's everywhere. He's adding to his arsenal. He's learning things and adding them to his arsenal because Chris Eubank knows he's an up and down, straight up and down, no special effects fighter. Come forward, brute force, brute strength. That's his game plan for right now. Him against James DeGale was the best fight I've ever seen him in. And what does Chris Eubank Jr. do? He ventures out. He starts to talk to other guys. He starts to talk. He's not bringing them on board as his trainer. He's just like, what can I pick up? What can I get from you? Can I get this from you? Can I get that from you? How many American trainers are willing to relocate to the UK? That's the problem that Chris Eubank Jr. walked into. He wanted Virgil, but Virgil says, I can't pick up and go over to the UK. I got other fighters over here. Addition. I like addition more than subtraction. Smitty Smith says, I'm sorry. DJ Zion Love. Yes, indeed. All day. Chin Smoke. Yep, you're right, man. All day. Word of the day. Wilder and Joshua are similar in that they are tall and are physical specimens. They don't have the techniques like the older fighters. True talk. Wilder's main attribute is that right hand, and we all know it. Can he get outboxed? Possibly. But can he still get outboxed and still win the fight? Yes. That's Deontay Wilder. He can be outboxed for 10 straight rounds and you'll still lose. They have special things about them, but all around, every area, every department, they're not Riddick Bowe. They're not Evander Holyfield. They're not Lennox Lewis. They ain't that. Those were heavyweights that can do it all. These dudes They are great at what they do, but they lack in other departments. You did, so it is what it is. Lewis Coleman, I just turned 40 something on June 3rd. I'll be ready. Hey, happy belated birthday. June 3rd. What's today? Happy belated birthday, fam. Happy belated birthday to Lewis Coleman. Oh, man. 40th birthday. Oh, son, you up there. You lost your 3. You lost your 3. It's all love, homie. I'm right behind your ass. You know what I mean? But congratulations and happy belated birthday. I just turned 40 something on June 3rd. I'll be ready in 6 months. Damn, a 6-month training camp? Do I need to go to the Border Wars? Hey, make it happen. Make it happen. I will blow it up. I will talk about it every single day. Lewis Coleman versus Word of the Day going down. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Word of the Day says, not 60. I have the wisdom of an older man. I never back down and show no fear on the internet. Hey, man. Y'all ought to get it cracking up in here. Fuck AJ and Ruiz. We got some real live, smoke right here in the comments section all day. Hey, man, don't make me have to go and rent a venue, man. I can make some calls, man, and get a building for y'all with a ring in it all day. Easy work. I'm telling you. Joe 56984. Abel Sanchez was lobbying to help AJ. Abel Sanchez need to help his damn self. Everybody kicking Abel Sanchez to the curb, man. Abel just need to check, or else they about to shut his gym down. You know what I'm saying? Up in Big Bed. They about to sell that joint. Man, Abel ain't nobody thinking about you. Abel ain't gonna teach AJ what he needs. AJ needs a boxing coach, someone who teaches him better boxing skills. Abel Sanchez ain't going to do nothing but teach him how to walk forward, eat punches, and swing harder than the dude that's swinging on you, period. Man, Abel don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you think he's been fired by everybody? Triple G ain't never been a finesse-style boxer ever. Like, ever. Said no one ever. The swiftest we ever seen Triple G look was against David Lemieux, and we ain't seen that Triple G since. Come on, man. Newborn, it depends if AJ stays on the outside, and when he is on the inside hole, it will be boring, but a guaranteed win for AJ on all 3 judges' cards. I agree. He has to fight long, stay on the outside, stay moving, but just not backwards. You can move side to side. You can change angles. You could take a step forward. You can actually hold your ground without allowing Andy Ruiz to get to the inside. Put hard shots on him when he gets to, when he starts making his way to the inside. Make him pay for walking through the front door. See, Andy Ruiz was not taking major punishment for walking through that front door. At least not after the 3rd round, he wasn't. Now, in that first couple rounds, he was taking some shots. But after the 3rd on down, no, he was able to walk through the front door. And AJ couldn't keep him from doing it other than retreating. And so this is what I'm telling y'all, man. Like, he has to fight long. But the thing is, he has several adjustments that he can, once he watched the tape, he can make. As for Andy Ruiz, I believe that's just who he is. Because I've seen basically damn near all of Andy Ruiz. I've seen so many Andy Ruiz fights, and all I see is the same guy. He's a hell of a fighter, though. And please don't misunderstand me. When I say I see the same guy, I'm not seeing a bad fighter by far. But I see the same guy. You know what I'm saying? I see the same guy. Hamid, what's up with you, homie? What's up, Hamid 92 in the building? What's up, fam? What's up with you, man? What's up with you? What's up with you? DJ Zion Love says too much hype pressure destroys AJ state of mind. I mean, yeah, maybe so, but he human, man. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and act like he human. See, what people gotta understand, and this is to my UK brother, Hamid 92. I hope you listen. I don't dislike AJ. I've never disliked AJ. I got my problems with the Hearns. My problem lies with Matchroom. Now, I have nationalistic pride just like y'all do. I'm going to support my American heavyweight champion no matter what. No matter what. But I don't dislike AJ. I don't dislike him. I actually got good things to say about him, When we not talking about him and Wilder, I got a lot of good things to say about AJ. But he human. And he has been having half of the world like jump on his neck for the last few years. Rightfully so, but and maybe more so it should have been accredited to Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn, but the fact still remains. Slim, he been every time you turn on the internet, I mean, you go somewhere, you come over here, you gonna get dogged out. It's been going on like that for years. I gotta fuck you up. You know, I gotta do something to you. And so I'm fully aware he's only human. And I feel like us as Wilder fans, we were doing our job by getting into his head. But I do believe he was nervous. I do believe that the moment became bigger than AJ. And that's saying a lot, given that this dude is fought in front of 80,000 in Wembley. Like, that's saying a lot. But he couldn't come in front of 17,000 or 15,000. How many people were in there? And most of them wasn't even Americans. You couldn't even come and live up to that moment. But he's human. So, you know, it is what it is. And he is a fighter. And at the end of the day, I respect all fighters. Let's see. Lewis Coleman says Earl is scared of Vada, and most definitely Earl is scared of one time. The final level, Earl will get exposed. Earl loses by 8 rounds, my opinion. Well, we know when it comes to the final level, you got to have some sort of accomplishments to get in the ring with that man. You dig? Now, as for Earl, is he scared of Vada? I mean, he's taken Vada before. Matter of fact, he's taken it twice. Mikey Garcia and Kell Brook. Now, I will say this. I just didn't want to do it at the time, but I could have made a video. And I'm not going to get too far into this. I'm just going to skim the surface so y'all could take away from this what y'all want. There's a lot of videos that I pass up on doing that I could easily do. You did. One of them was, and I'm sure y'all saw the video, when someone, I don't know who it was. It could have been Blue Blood. It could have been, I don't know. It was one of them cats. And Earl Spence was like at the presser for the Mikey Garcia fight. And they asked him about Vada. And he was like, you know, has Vada been testing you? And he was just like, nah. He literally shook his head like, no, I ain't seen Vada in weeks. They ain't been testing me. And then somebody stopped him mid-sentence. And he started to correct course. I could have played that audio, but I was just like, I'm not getting into that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm not gonna say he's afraid of Vada because he's taking Vada. So I don't know. And some can be said about Mikey also because they cut the Vada testing so far away from the fight. You know what I mean? But I'm not getting into that. You know what I mean? My thing is, I'm not a firm believer in the Vada clean boxing program. I've done my homework on it, Lewis. Shout out to the UGC. I know y'all be on that heavy. I've done my homework about the WBC clean boxer program, and it's not foolproof by far. It's not properly funded. It's not properly. It's not the testing is not done properly. It's not the amount of testing is not done properly. There's a lot. You know, there's discrepancies between VOD and the WBC about money, about compensation. You know, when these boxers get popped dirty and they got to pay fines and penalties, they pay them to the WBC. The WBC don't kick shit to VOD for that. There's a lot to talk about. You did when you talk about the WBC clean boxer program, and it has several holes. They have a monthly budget of $10,000. How the hell are you gonna test over 400 boxers for $10,000 a month? When Eddie Hearn, who's one of the promoters, who paid VADA out of his own pocket, you know, out of the purses, of course, but he paid up to $40,000 just for one fight, and that's VADA constantly testing, and going deeper in testing. And you got the WBC kicking VADA $10,000 a month to test 400 boxes. You do the math. You know what I mean? So I'm not a firm believer in that clean boxer program no more. I used to be. And I do like the fact that they are random, but they need to be better funded. And I heard that the women, shout out to the women, the WBC has just came out and stated that they're going to be putting the women under the WBC clean boxer program. So it is what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Trav, man. Me and Trav have we wrapped it up about that before. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I would honestly like for him to look into because he's that's his thing. That's what he do. You know what I mean? That's what he's great at. When it comes to that subject, he's heavy on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I honestly would like for him to look into the inconsistencies and discrepancies of the WBC clean boxer program. I've already done my homework on it though. All right, moving right along. Smitty Smith says, Lewis Coleman says, Kronk's Gym, sir. I am from Detroit. Let's have fun. It's just Spawn. Hey, word of the day. Hey, word of the day. He job putting you out there, homie. He job putting you out there. I'm just saying. He calling you out, fam. He calling you out. And it's all love. You know what I'm talking about? It's all love. Alex Cartier says it's a puppet show. Yes, Zach. It's a money-making thing, bro. It's a money-making thing. The WBC gets a lot of money behind this WBC clean boxing program. More than y'all know. More than y'all know. Chin Smoke, yes, sir. At Lewis Coleman, that fight needs to happen soon. Y'all going at it, man. Smitty Smith, I got Pac-Man beating Keith Thurman's ass. I don't see it, fam. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. I see Keith Thurman retiring a legend, sending Manny Pacquiao to the Philippines with nothing but excuses, going back over to Tibet or to whatever forest, wonderful kingdom that he lives in, staying there for the next 9.5 months, coming back, emerging sometime next year with probably a half blonde beard and a new flute, and coming back and calling out Earl Spence Jr. That's what I see. I'm trying to tell you, cousin. I'm trying to tell you. Smitty Smith says, how about Ronnie Shields to train Joshua? Maybe lend us some advice. Call up McCracken and tell McCracken what he's seen in the fight that Joshua can work on. That'd be cool. Maybe take an advisory role. That'd be cool. But I don't want to see Joshua, at least especially not doing this rematch. If he was to change trainers, let it be after Andy Ruiz, not during Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? It's not a good look. You don't go from one fight to the next and you change trainers. That's what hurt Sergey Kovalev. Remember, with John David Jackson. When he got rid of John David Jackson, which he rightfully should have, if John David Jackson talking about something, he gonna go over to the other side and give him secrets and shit. But he got rid of John David Jackson and he looked worse. You know what I mean? It's not a good time to do it. Not a good time to do it. Sunday night, let's have Travity on, sir. All right, I'm gonna hit him up. Travis, know he's more than welcome to come on this platform anytime. Chin Smoke, yes, sir. At Lewis Coleman, that fight needs to. I already read that. I'll go live. Also, it should get your views up, my man. All right. Okay. Do your thing. I got 200 on the final level, aka one time that Thurman beats Pazak all day. All day. All right. That's what's up, man. You know what it is, Lewis, man. But that's what it is, man. So at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, I thought he did the right thing by taking the rematch. I thought he did the exact right thing by going immediately into this rematch and trying to reclaim what's his. And we need to know if he's better than just a temple shot. I thought he's making the right decision. In the rematch, he's going to have to fight tall. He's going to have to fight long, stay off the back foot. He's going to have to fight patient. Andy Ruiz don't have to do anything different because I don't think he does anything different. Also, some say that AJ needs to work on his defense for the rematch. It can lose a little tighten up, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary other than the fact that he was hurt and he just did not have the equilibrium nor the legs to defend himself. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. Now, like I said, I still think that fight should happen down here in the U.S. I think if he lost in front of the Americans, he should win in front of the Americans. You know what I'm saying? And if he doesn't, and honestly, if he does beat Andy Ruiz should be entitled to a trilogy, in my opinion. So, I mean, I think that's just the way it should work out. But once again, I'm glad the rematch is going on. You know what I mean? I'm glad it's happening that way. And I'm just glad that Andy Ruiz did his thing. He made history and first Mexican heavyweight in history. And I'm just glad that the rematch is on. And I can't wait for it. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Now I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm moving on. I've done about 6, 7 videos on this shit, 2 live streams, and a partridge in a pear tree. I ain't doing no more. You dig? I talk about it if something different comes out, but just recycling the same crap ain't main man made, man. We're moving right along. This Sunday coming up, we'll have a whole new lineup of subjects to talk about in the boxing world. We know we got some fights coming on this weekend. We got I think Zab Zuda's fighting, and I know Joe Joyce is fighting Brian Jennings. Brian Jennings, man, just can't get right. Just can't get right. Came a gatekeeper. We'll talk about it though as it happens. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more fights coming up. A lot of things to talk about around boxing. So we will get to those issues starting tomorrow. Much love to everybody that showed up tonight. You know what I'm saying? Hit the thumbs up for me. If you didn't hit it on the way in, hit it on the way out. Much love to each and every one of y'all, man. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for supporting me, man. Real talk. I'm down to promote the fight between Lewis Coleman and Word of the Day all day. If you want to make it happen, holler at your boy. You know what I'm saying? I'll make some calls for you all day. You know what I'm saying? Much love to each and every one of y'all. Lion Bar, Alex Cartier, Lewis Coleman, Chin Smoke, DJ Zion Love, Hamid 92, Newborn, much love, Joe 56984, Word of the Day, all of y'all, Smitty Smith, all of y'all, man. Everybody that showed up and rock with me tonight. Much love to y'all, man. Much love to each and every one of y'all. And I will see y'all Sunday. Last Sunday, we had some technical difficulties. This Sunday, I ain't going for it. Somebody at YouTube gonna have to holler at me. You know what I'm talking about? But real shit. So to the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man Made Man. And yeah, man, that's gonna do it. Finish up this work week. If the supervisor tell you to do something you don't want to do, tell them to go jump in the lake and tell them Main Man Made Man said it. And to the next one, much love, y'all. Peace out.